Have you ever wondered why humans, as inherently social creatures, often bend the truth or even fabricate it entirely? This is a question that has puzzled philosophers, psychologists, and ordinary people alike for centuries. Welcome to our journey into the heart of deception, where we'll explore the fascinating nature of lies. Lying, it seems, is a universal human behavior. From the innocent white lies we tell to protect another's feelings, to the more problematic falsehoods that can damage trust and relationships, lies are woven into the very fabric of our social interactions. But why is this so? Perhaps it's not always a sign of moral failing, but rather a complex psychological reaction. Some experts suggest that lying is a survival mechanism, a tool evolved over millennia to help us navigate social dynamics and protect ourselves from harm. When we find ourselves in a difficult situation, sometimes a lie can feel like a lifeline, a quick fix to avert danger or avoid conflict. But let's not forget that not all lies are created equal. There's a wide spectrum, from harmless fibs to serious deceptions. Everyone lies, but the reasons and frequency may vary. Some lies are told out of kindness, to spare others from hurtful truths. Others are spun from a web of fear or insecurity, a desperate attempt to hide our flaws or failures. However, it's important to remember that while lying might be a common human behavior, it doesn't mean it's always justified or without consequence. The impact of lies can ripple outwards, affecting relationships, trust, and even our own self-perception. So as we delve deeper into our exploration of lies, let's keep in mind the complex nature of this behavior. It's not just about the act of lying, but also about understanding why we do it and the potential impacts it can have on ourselves and others. Indeed, the question is not whether we lie, but why we do it. As we continue this journey, we'll further unravel the psychology behind our deceptive behaviors and the paradox of truth and lies. So, stick around because we're just getting started. Let's delve into the human psyche to uncover the reasons behind our lies. At the heart of our deceptive ways is a complex web of psychological factors. Fear, for instance, is a powerful motivator. When we're afraid of the potential consequences of our actions, we sometimes resort to lies as a defense mechanism. Picture a child who breaks a vase and then denies it, fearing punishment. This fear-driven dishonesty isn't something we outgrow, it simply evolves with us, manifesting in different forms as we age. Next, consider our innate desire for approval. We all crave acceptance and validation from our peers, which can sometimes lead us to stretch the truth. We might exaggerate a story to make it more interesting, or present ourselves in a certain light to fit in. This kind of lying, though perhaps less harmful, reflects our deep-seated need to belong. Then there's the need for control. Lying can offer a sense of power, allowing us to manipulate situations to our advantage. Whether it's a white lie to avoid hurting someone's feelings or a calculated deception to achieve a specific outcome, the ability to control a narrative can be intoxicating. Finally, let's talk about self-presentation. We all have an image of ourselves that we want to project to the world, and sometimes the truth doesn't align with that image. In such cases, a lie might be used as a tool to maintain our desired self-perception and to manage how others perceive us. For instance, someone might lie about their salary to appear more successful. In essence, fear, the longing for acceptance, the hunger for control, and the desire to maintain a certain self-image all conspire to turn us into occasional fibbers. But remember, not all lies are inherently malicious. Some are born out of empathy or a desire to protect. Others, however, can cause harm and erode trust. It's clear that our psychological makeup can push us to lie, but not all lies are created equal. Not all lies carry the same weight. Some are harmless, while others can cause significant damage. Yes, indeed, the world of deception isn't as black and white as we may think. Instead, it's painted with various shades of gray. Let's delve into this spectrum of lies and explore the differences between good and bad lies. Firstly, good lies, known also as white lies, serve a purpose that isn't necessarily malicious. They're often told to prevent hurt feelings or maintain social harmony. For instance, if someone asks you how their new haircut looks and you don't exactly love it, you might say it looks great, That's a white lie. You're not being truthful, but your intent is to avoid hurting the person's feelings. These white lies are like social lubricants, easing the friction of our daily interactions and making life just a little bit smoother. They're tiny sacrifices of truth for the sake of kindness. Yet it's important to remember that the use of white lies should be carefully considered, as they can potentially undermine trust if discovered. On the darker side of this spectrum, we find bad lies. These are typically self-serving and can harm others. For example, if you lie about your qualifications to land a job, you're not only deceiving your employer, but also potentially causing harm to the company and its employees. These lies, driven by selfish motives, can have serious repercussions. They can erode trust, damage relationships, and even lead to legal consequences. The key difference between good and bad lies in the intent and the potential impact. However, it's crucial to note that this classification of lies as good or bad is somewhat subjective and can vary based on cultural, personal, or situational factors. What's deemed a harmless white lie in one context might be viewed as a harmful deception in another. So lies can be as diverse as the motivations behind them. Just like us, they come in all shapes and sizes, each with its own unique impact and purpose. As we navigate through this world of lies, it's essential to consider not just the truth, but also the intent and the potential consequences of our words. Lies, whether they're good or bad, have consequences. This statement rings true in every corner of our lives, from personal relationships to the broader society we live in. When we think about lies and their impact, we often narrow our focus to the immediate fallout, the hurt feelings, the betrayals, the broken trust, but the effects of dishonesty ripple out much further. Lies can erode the very fabric of our relationships. Trust, once shattered, is challenging to rebuild. Friendships can falter, families can fracture, and love can lose its luster under the shadow of deceit. On a societal level, lies can have even more significant implications. When deceit becomes normalized, it can undermine the collective trust we place in our institutions and each other. It can sow discord, fueling suspicion and cynicism. It can erode our shared sense of reality, pushing us further into our own subjective truths and away from a common understanding. But not all lies are created equal. Sometimes what we call a good lie can lead to positive outcomes. A reassurance that everything will be okay, even when we're not sure, can provide comfort in times of distress. A white lie to spare someone's feelings can sometimes be an act of kindness, a testament to our empathy and consideration for others. These good lies can, paradoxically, strengthen our bonds, demonstrating our willingness to put the other person's emotional well-being above the raw truth. However, bad lies, those told with malicious intent or to conceal wrongdoing, often lead to negative consequences. They can damage relationships, tarnish reputations, and even have legal ramifications. The fallout from these lies can be far-reaching, causing heartache and chaos in their wake. So the impact of a lie is not black and white. It's a complex web of intent, context, and consequence. And while honesty is generally the best policy, the reality is that we live in a world where lies exist and will continue to do so. Thus, the impact of a lie often depends on its intent and the context in which it's told. In the end, the line between truth and lies is often blurred. This statement, as paradoxical as it may sound, underpins the complexity of human nature. We've journeyed through the nature of lies, the psychological reasons behind them, their spectrum, and their impact. Now let's tie it all together and delve into the paradox of truth and lies. People lie for various reasons. Some lie to protect others or themselves, to avoid conflict, or to maintain a certain image. These are the so-called white lies, often seen as harmless or even beneficial. They can help smooth social interactions, protect feelings, or even maintain peace. Then there are the black lies, those rooted in manipulation, deceit, or harm. These lies can break trust, ruin relationships, and even lead to legal repercussions. Despite the stark contrast between these two types of lies, they share a common thread: human behavior. We are all capable of stretching the truth, whether it's to spare someone's feelings or to serve our own interests. This capacity to lie, as unsavory as it may sound, is a part of our complex human nature. The paradox here is that while lying is generally frowned upon, it's also a common part of our everyday lives. We tell white lies to ease social interactions, to protect others, or to avoid conflict. And yet, we condemn black lies because they erode trust and can cause harm. But where do we draw the line? The truth is, the line is often blurry. What may seem like a white lie to one person could be a black lie to another. This is because our perception of truth and lies is shaped by our personal values, experiences, and cultural norms. So whether we like it or not, lies are an integral part of our social fabric, reflecting our complex human nature. As we navigate through life, it's up to us to discern the truth, understand the lies, and handle them with wisdom and integrity. The paradox of truth and lies continues to challenge us, but it also offers us a glimpse into the multifaceted dimensions of human behavior.